Hello, this is my second video update on my body Solid GPR 378 power rack review. I just finished exercising here, so I just thought that I threw in another video about this particular power rack, and also it's been a couple of days now since I last made my other videos, so I also have more experience with this rack now, and for that reason it does get a lot easier to actually talk freely about this thing. And the last time I think I mentioned, for example, the holes, that we had 21 holes rather than 20 holes. I mentioned the paint coming off from these hooks, and I was also talking about the safety hooks, that each number of these posts doesn't have a number, so you don't really know exactly where to put each hook on, as well as the safety bars. Yeah, well, not much has changed on that area actually. The paint still comes off, as you can see here. There are some marks here, and I didn't actually mention the numbers in my last video. Frankly, I don't think it's such a big problem. Okay, nobody's actually said that it's a problem, but it could be a minor annoyance. For example, if you want to know exactly how many holes up or down, you put this hook on, for example, and then you have to know about the other hook and the safety bars. I think I did actually talk about the other things. Let me think. Okay, yeah. The flat bench press is just fine. I did say that these hooks are very long. I think that was pretty much my major complaint in my last video, although, as well as the paint coming off. But that can, I suppose, be handled if you just put some kind of tape or something. Maybe glue some kind of rubber on it. I don't know, just something. So maybe you can even put some kind of towel on it. I actually put towels on each safety bar today when I was doing deadlifts. And so I just put the bar on top of each towel, so no paint was scraped off. I suppose if I hadn't had those towels, the same thing could have happened. I don't know. I haven't tried that, and there's no reason to try that either. So just put something on each safety bar when you do that exercise. Unless, of course, you want to go all the way down to the floor. I put the safety bars on the last hole here. As you can see, you kind of... So you just count all the way up, but it's on the last hole here. You can't actually put it any further than that unless you want to go all the way to the floor, but it is very close to the floor, as you can see. Yesterday I also made incline bench presses, and that's actually where the length of these hooks definitely becomes more obvious, because yeah, I mean, there will be all I don't know, maybe out here, and just imagine that when you want to lift it off and then start doing the exercise. The exercise is okay, except that it's very easy to hit the bar on these brakes, and then you also have some additional lift here in order to actually lift the bar over this brake, just to put it here on the hook. That's yeah, it happened a couple of times. I probably hit the bar on this 3 or 4 times or so. But you also have to get a feel for this power rack, just like any other equipment for that matter. But it really is a problem, especially on that exercise. But the flat bench press is just fine. I suppose the incline press will be, as time goes by, I will probably get used to that as well. But as for now, it really is a problem. It's not very comfortable when you have, when you have the seat like that, the incline press. So, and well, it's been an uphill climb actually. I took a 2.5 year, I would say between 2.5 years and 3 years. That's a long break, and I can't even begin to compare where I left off. In terms of weight, it's just a dramatic change. It's a huge decline, if you like. But 3 years makes a huge difference. And also this time I'm starting out with absolutely nothing. I don't have any creatine or protein powder or anything like nonsense like that. I'm just through with that. It's just a waste of money, in my opinion. This is just an amateur thing. I just want to get in shape, at least more than I was after those 3 years. So I try not to focus too much on where I left off, but sometimes it is difficult when you do each exercise that haven't even felt on for almost 3 years. It's huge difference anyway, and it's almost depressing actually. Yeah, I think that's about it. And oh, by the way, I think I mentioned in my last video that you get these 3 small bottles with paint that you can actually use on as well as on the bench, I think, in case paint is being scraped off. And I actually did not a very good job over here. At least it covers a little bit over there, and I'll put some paint on the bolt on the back over there, as well as on that one. It's not a very nice job, but at least it doesn't shine through too much, the metal between or under the paint actually. Okay, I think that's about it. So far I have to say that it's been a very good power rack, I would say. I think people have mentioned $1,000 plus equipment that is supposed to be better. I exercise in different commercial gyms for many years, and I don't think I've ever encountered such a fantastic equipment like this one. I mean, it's just at least as good as any other commercial thing. So if you actually buy this thing, you'll be satisfied, I'm sure. You might wonder what about professional bodybuilders and stuff. Well, I don't see any reason why a professional person couldn't use this thing. It can handle up to 800 or maybe 1,000 pounds. So if you have that kind of weight, you're probably a very big person anyway. So, but yeah, I think it can handle it. There's no question about it. This is very thick, solid steel. There's no way you can ever mess things up over here on this. I suppose the only liability could be perhaps the hooks. I can't even imagine that, to be honest. Maybe the bolts. I think, I mean, especially if you use that kind of weight, you probably have to go through these bolts every now and then just to maintain it a little bit, just to look it over. I've also done that. The next day when I'd actually assemble this thing, I noticed a couple of bolts were a little bit loose. I just tightened them again. Maybe I forgot about them or something, but just make sure the next day or a couple of days later that they were really tightened together, so nothing terrible happens. But the weights that I'm using right now are not terribly heavy. I don't think I've lifted anything over, well, not much over 200 pounds anyway, so this thing can handle like 4 times more without a problem. Okay, but I'll get to it later when I get back in shape, or at least close to what I used to be, hopefully. So until then, have a nice workout.